Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Danny Matthews, for those of you who already know. Well, I've got a very important bonding issue in my heart that I just could not get a whiff of breath of fresh air about it without every day going in my mind. I know, as many of you have seen, you've seen a lot of photos and videos of what is happening in Libya to Africans, black Africans that look like me, black in number times, even though I hate using that word black because I don't see myself as a color. I'm an individual which ethnicity is African in many diversity of that form that I may represent. Color is a diminutive term of discrimination in its very nature. And this pains me for the main reason why I'm doing this video. And if you must notice that all the people that the Libyans are putting into this heinous pain and shame are mostly people that look like me, or perhaps most of the people that would watch this my video, not the Arab-looking ones or the so-called non-colored like me, which I said a derogatory term. For the purpose of my illustration, I'm using that terms today. But that what saddened me more than anything else is the OAU or whatever it's called, the Organization of African Unity or what they call themselves. I've I have no problem with United Nations being ineffective and feckless because they're under the thumbprint of the United States. They only do what the United States wants them to do and bid for. So let's assume they're useless. And for one reason, I agree with many of the conservative in America, like is it Ian Bolton, to say United Nations needs to be dissolved, disbanded, or thrown out in its present form because I think they're useless as well. But apart from that, I'm more concerned by the OAU. If there's any organization that needs to be disbanded or taken to task with gross incompetence and the reflection of how African leaders operate is OAU. There's no way on planet Earth OAU can say they represent anything African, apart from pretentious bastards acting as diplomat in OAU. What have they done? Have they called Libya to tax? Have they actually done anything? Where are OAU force? What are they doing? Why are there not any African leader with credibility and say this is wrong and we're gonna do something about it? We know many of the leaders in Africa are corrupt, agreed. But do they also lack decency? Do they also lack common sense of fairness for fellow Africans? Do they also lack just as basic humanity that this is not right for your fellow Africans to treat one another like this? This is not right. This is wrong. This is diabolic. Why are the churches not talking about this? Why are the mosques not talking about this? You've seen very different accusations going up and down about tithing and not tithing. Fair enough. Not going to get into that discussion today. Where are the churches? Forget the Western involvement in this. If we as an African will not stand up for ourselves, screw the West. They don't need to lift a finger. They don't need to do anything. United Nations or whatever it's called, or the European Union or whatever, they don't need to do shit. You Africans leaders need to do something. You need to get off your backside and do something. And resolve this because this will come to your backyard. This will come to destroy you. This will come and happen in an even worse form or shape. Look at those promoting this doctrine of terrorism all around the world. It's coming to haunt them now. The chicken is coming to roost. So why you keep silent in your own private mansion, why your kids are totally saved in Europe or somewhere in the West, the citizen you're supposed to represent are suffering. They've been sold for kidney harvesting, or they've been sold as slaves, been sold as human harvesting parts. You fly around in your own luxury, live in your own luxury. I'm telling you, judgment will come soon. there will be a swell of forces. This is I'm not that will happen. That's happening soon in Africa, and you'll be caught up in that whirlwind and be destroyed if you do not start standing up for the common man. Nigeria have the biggest population. I won't say apart from South Africa, probably the strongest army in Africa. Nigeria to Libya is not that very far off. What's Nigerian government doing? Well, surely we have our own problems. But should we then turn a blind eye in a situation like this? This is sad. I want to appeal to Nigerians or Africans across the world. Please do not let this story die. Keep posting, keep tweeting, keep calling one another, keep sending this picture out, keep putting it on Facebook, putting it on Instagram. Embarrass your leaders with it. Call their attention to it. Send it to their embassies. Send it to all your embassy websites. Say, what is your government doing about this? Form a group. Make a call. We cannot expect other people to do for us what we refuse to do for ourselves. We cannot expect the European Union to do for us what we as an African OAU should do for ourselves. We stood back when the West destroyed Libya and did nothing. No one could stand up and say the net effect of what the West was trying to do by installing a terrorist group in Libyan government will be bad for the whole region. We did nothing. Or is the time for you to stand around and say no and do something and take the African interest first. Libya was destroyed not because Gaddafi was any different than any of the other Western leaders. Would you say Gaddafi is any worse than Donald Trump today? Or choose even the Arabic countries, or choose even the Far East countries. Why are they not invading them? There are some European countries with dictators even to this present day. Why are they not invading them? Why Libya? Why destroy a beautiful functioning country without any support to date and live into chaos and anarchy? What is the net benefit for the Libyans or the Africans? Today, the West is making a lot of money milking the oil without anything in Libya today, but what is the net benefit? Look at the cost effect. Fellow Africans have been sold as slaves, harvested for their body parts. And what are you doing about it? I challenge you African leaders. Have integrity. Have honor in you. Show that you care. Do something. At least send even an envoy to just check if all the videos that's been shown are fact. Say, you know what? We're going to send our diplomatic team with some military backing to go and check this out. Is this fact? Is this accurate? And if it is, take Libyan government or what's terrorist government India into tax. Libya is not a functioning state thanks to the West, the like of Cameron and yes, Obama for foolishly allowing Cameron to deceive him into going to bomb Libya to oblivion and got rid of Saddam, who kept the country safe and growing. And now what's the result? But the worst thing is for we, you, me, and Africans to do nothing. I want to beg you, as an African, do not let this story die. Don't let the drama of the West confuse us from the focus of what is important. We must fight for ourselves. Do not expect anyone to do for you what you're not willing to do for yourself. Do not expect anyone to sacrifice for what you're not willing to sacrifice for yourself. So I beg you, make the phone call, send Twitter, send email to your African leaders, to their embassies, and tell them this is wrong and ask what are they doing about it. If there's any consolation, I've done what I could do. Share my opinion. Please, you share yours as well. Let's make it to one voice and complain about this. Yeah, I might sit in the comfort of my own house and look through this camera and say, hey, this is bad, this is bad. What am I doing? at least I'm talking about it. And I wish I could do more. I really wish I could do more. And if I could, trust me, I would. But I'm not going to sit here and just keep quiet. The least I can do is make it known, inform people, keep tweeting, posting on Facebook, calling people, texting, forwarding messages until somebody, somewhere, do something. The West will not do anything in Libya because it would be an admission of guilt that they've done something wrong. If they're not going to do anything, then let's do something. For the West to go into Libya today is to admit that what they did by getting rid of Gaddafi was wrong. And then they have to work against their own interest over there because right now, who's controlling the Libyan oil? The West. Before it was predominantly controlled by the Libyan people. So tell me, is Libya better off today than when it was under Gaddafi? If you cannot honestly say yes to that question, or if you have to think about it, then something is wrong with you. Libya was way better off under Gaddafi, even though he was a dictator, than what the present state is. So we cannot trust the same people who broke it to now fix it. Because it means they have to go against their interest to fix it. It ain't going to happen. If the West could solve any problem, they would have solved the Palestinian and Israeli conflict today. They're incapable by the leadership of America to solve any problem. Case in question, Afghanistan. Case in question, Iraq. Case in question, Libya. Case in question, Syria. So what have they resolved? They've always created problem and devastation whenever America and the West is involved. It's time we solve it ourselves. Because our interests must align with what our people. So I beg you, Africans, do not let this story die. Fight for fellow Africans by talking about it. Then fight for the common good of humanity. Challenge your leaders. Send them emails, send them posts, send them Twitter. Don't stop until something is done. I'm Danny Matthews. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.